presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
We're back where it all began. Arizona, the Valley of the Sun, Peoria in March, now Phoenix for the season finale. Jan Solarte, hot hitting, 14-game hitting streak, the longest in Major League Baseball currently. And he goes for 15 in a row tonight. And Jake Lamb, what a season for this 25-year-old third baseman. 29 homers and 91 runs batted in for the D-backs. And we welcome you to Phoenix and Chase Field. Mark Grant, Dick Enberg, coming down to the final three, and the Padres currently are 2 games in front of Arizona, trying to stay out of the cellar of the NL West.
Yeah, and with the way things are going right now for the Padres, we've got some young guys in the lineup. We've seen a lot of energy and hopefully some good pitching tonight from Edwin Jackson.
And I'm fascinated by the 2 first basemen in this game. You got Paul Goldschmidt, the perennial all-star, and Will Myers. They're built alike. Myers is 3.5 years younger. Look at the matching numbers.
Ever since I was a kid watching baseball, I always loved big hitting, power hitting first baseman. We look at Myers and Goldie. 25-year-olds Myers, 29 Goldschmidt. In 2015, now first full year for each guy. Will Myers has got him beaten in the home run category and RBIs. Goldschmidt his first year hit 286. This year Myers 256. And Goldschmidt his first year had a non-base percentage of 359. Will Myers 335. You know what the big thing for me, Dick? Both these guys have a tendency, they could use the whole field. They could be very successful. The Ks have got to come down, but with power equals Ks. Can the walks go up? And another thing is patience. And one other thing, in the success of a first baseman with power, who hits behind them? If they've got some protection behind them, those numbers can go way up. But Will Myers, I think, can put up numbers like Paul Goldschmidt.
Well, thinking ahead to next year's All-Star game, can Myers outdo Goldschmidt? That might be an interesting race.
Absolutely. If Will Myers stay healthy, hey, he stayed healthy this year, and that was a big key for his success.
Well, 6 years ago, as an Arizona Diamondback, Edwin Jackson pitched a no-hitter. He goes against the D-backs. He's not pitched well on the road this year.
Yeah, he's got to improve things. His location, he can get wild in the strike zone as well. But for Edwin Jackson, the strikeouts are there. The velocity is still there. And as we look back at the last 4 starts, 2-1 record, yeah, the strikeouts are, but he can't go from the strikeout early in the count. He's got to get ahead. If he gets early action, that's quite all right. But the bite of the fastball is there, the breaking ball is there, and he's one guy that's got a rubber arm. He can give you a lot of pitches, so hopefully he sets the tone for the series in Game 1 here in Arizona.
Well, with all the new faces, the youth movement for the Padres, there's been one man in that dugout that has kept a keen eye on every individual. Mark McGwire, will they hit at a major league level? His impression of the young Padres, Julie Alexandria, with that story when we return.
Chase Field. Well, earlier this week on Wednesday, Padre fans and the Padres organization got a taste of the sheer power from Hunter Renfroe. Just the first in a long line of strong and positive returns that these young rookies, the core four as they're called, have brought to this Padres lineup late in September. And there's one guy in the Padres dugout that knows what it takes to have a very successful Major League Baseball career, and that's bench coach Mark McGwire. I had a chance to talk to him about what he's seen as far as first impressions go from these young rookies at the Major League level.
What I look at is composure and how they go about playing the game, and they just look so composed out there because a lot of guys, especially that young, can be so wide-eyed and get caught up in you're up in the big leagues. It's just the same game. It's just a different level, as you want to say, and you know, they're very impressive, so it's really cool.
Mark McGwire also told me he's very excited for San Diego to have power guys. He said, looking at the stats, the fact that Will Myers had 18 home runs to break the franchise record at Petco. He was very surprised, but he says when you combine Will Myers plus Ryan Schimpf and Hunter Renfroe, the future is very bright. Coming up, Padres taking on the Snakes for game one of a 3-game set when we come back.
San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Smart and Final, now with 25 stores across San Diego. By Petco, where the healthy pets go. And by Volkswagen Kearny Mesa, awarded Best in San Diego County for service and sales. Experience the exceptional at Volkswagen Kearny Mesa. Oh my, the Valley of the Sun at twilight as we're ready at Chase Field for the first of a 3-game series. The Diamondbacks and the Padres. Brady Shipley, the right-hander. You see the roof open. How nice is that?
Very nice.
We're not in the mausoleum tonight. We actually can see the stars. Oh, I like that already. And here's the Padres starting lineup brought to you by Toyota. Jankowski, Margot, and Myers, the first three. Solarte with that 14-game hitting streak. Backs cleanup. Then Alex Dickerson and Ryan Schimpf. Schimpf needs one more homer for 20. Austin Hedges behind the plate. Luis Sardinas at short. And Edwin Jackson, as you know, a good hitting pitcher. That's ninth. And we are set to go. Plate umpire Jerry Meals says play ball. And the first pitch of the game is high and away. Jankowski hitting .245. I would think that if he was grading himself on this major league season, he'd be about a B, maybe.
I agree.
B minus.
I agree.
He's going to get better. that he's better than average, and he hits that one shallow in center. That's going to fall for a base hit. Well, he dumps a nice little single to center field to open things tonight.
Well, for Braden Shipley, the 24-year-old making his 11th start, this rookie is really high on the list for the Diamondbacks. Former shortstop at Nevada Reno. He's a really good athlete. Pretty much throws all 4 pitches: the fastball, curveball, changeup, slider.
Hitting second, Manny Margot, 8 for 23 thus far. Jankowski, for almost a full month, is stuck on 30 stolen bases. You know, I think they don't talk about the so-called minor aches and pains and nagging injuries, and when you're running the bases, you're going to be banged up.
It beats you up, no question about it. I think Travis told me a couple of weeks ago, one part of his game, especially his swing, he said sometimes he gets a little loopy in his swing rather than trying to attack the top half of the baseball, level swing. So I'm sure that's something this offseason he'll work on.
Right. Even just mentally thinking about it. 8 hits and 23 at bats, a couple of RBIs, a couple of steals for Margot. And he's played center field flawlessly. Takes ball 2. Checking on the sign, maybe a little hit and run, run and hit. Will Myers to follow here in the top of the first inning. Padres are 3-3 in Phoenix this year. They're ahead of the D-backs 9-7 overall. That's a strike at 93. Shipley, 24, from North Medford, Oregon, as Mark already indicated, a shortstop at University of Nevada, Reno. And the D-backs picked him in the opening round just 3 years ago. Here he is in the big leagues. He was 15th overall, so highly touted. Slap foul, upper deck.
Yeah, we mentioned Shipley being a great athlete. Didn't start pitching until he was a junior in high school, which is pretty cool.
Jerry Meals calling the balls and strikes. Paul Mauer, Ryan Blakeney, and Ron Culpa on the bases. Oh, it's a different environment with that roof open. Will the ball carry more or less?
I've always heard when the panels and roof are open that the ball has a tendency to carry more.
And it's a home run park, Chase Field. Big dimensions, but the ball carries here in the high desert. It's not only the roof, but those outfield panels. So the air can flow through. Even the hot air from the press box. Fouled at the plate. Off the front foot of Margot.
There's nothing like the springtime in the fall, late fall, even the wintertime in the desert. I just love it. I mean, like we got off the plane last night. It was really pleasant.
Yes, very pleasant. It's no warmer than it's been in Southern California the last couple of weeks. Unlike the midsummer where you can hit 109, 110 or more. Up the middle. Ooh, that one hits the pitcher, Shipley, and he throws to second for 1. No chance for a double play. Well, he used his body to deny Margot a base hit. That was a liner headed to center field. Let's see if he's okay.
You talk about a great second effort. This is a P-Rod off of Shipley. Where it got him, not sure, but the flip throw, the force play. That's one heck of a play by the Diamondback pitcher.
Making sure that he's all right.
May have gotten him in the chest and the rib cage.
Plate umpire Meals out there to look in on the conversation. And the only indication where he was hit, he did look at his left wrist. Now he's loosening his right arm, so who knows? Might have been right in the middle of the A and D backs. That's scary.
Yeah.
So 1 out Margot replaces Jankowski at first base. Myers needs 2 home runs for 30 for the year. 7 runs batted in for 100. You can compile some big numbers hitting in this ball yard. You say Chase Field and he starts barking. He loves it here. Takes a strike.
Well, we talked about Myers and Goldschmidt and compared them, and can Will Myers do the same? Well, you know, time will tell. Does he have the ability to do it? You bet. If he stays healthy. I mean, Goldschmidt, when he came up his rookie year, you know, he was tested. He had to make adjustments. I mean, now Paul Goldschmidt, Dick, is a triple crown threat when he's swinging the bat.
Oh, yeah, he's a legitimate all-star. Fouled back. Myers has a home run off the man he faces tonight. Shipley going to right field into the Petco porch, and the ball carries pretty well out toward right here. It's 376 in the right center field alley. Then it lengthens out to 413 and 407. 413 and deep right center, deep left center. And that ball hit high in the air to right field. A good run for Brito. Can he get there? No, it drops for a base hit. Then it's kicked to the wall. And so Myers will advance to second. Say on the bag. Oh, that's a groin pull there about to happen. I mean, man, he did a real stretch. Oh, it's like playing tag in the schoolyard.
That's right.
Safe.
Yeah, because in the schoolyard you can't slide. It's either cement or concrete, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to get scraped up, and okay, the force plays on, right? So you have to hold in between. The ball drops. Margot goes all the way to third. Will Myers is watching this play. It's right in front of him, and okay, you're on the bag. Stay.
Grabbing air. There's no bar out there to hang on to. How about that for a double? You can't hit a wedge shot any better than that away from right fielder Brito and second baseman Segura. So the Padres on a couple of blue hits here in the first inning have a chance to get on the board. Jan Solarte, second and third, 1 out. 290. And he rolls that one up the first base side, foul. That's off his foot. The Diamondbacks defense is brought to you by Ford of Escondido. Brewery in left, Haniger a late move into center field, and Brito in right. A young outfield for Chip Hale. Lamb, Owings on the left side. Segura and Goldschmidt, all-star at second base and first base, and Castillo the catcher. Inside, 92. Solarte career high in batting average, home runs, and RBIs. It's been a banner season for Solarte in baseball. That combined with the terrible tragedy of losing his lovely wife. And he's been solid, runners in scoring position, a money hitter. Inside.
You see what Shipley's trying to do, tie him up.
Anything pulled to the right side is a run. Both Segura at second and Goldschmidt at first are back, and so is shortstop Owings. He's back at second base. A ball hit to the third baseman Lamb. He could check the runner. He's just off the edge of the grass. And another foul that levels the count.
Oh, pitching backwards, 2-1 breaking ball to go even at 2-2. That showed some confidence in that secondary stuff.
Alex Dickerson on deck. He has a home run off Shipley this year. In the dirt, good block by catcher Castillo, and full count now to Solarte. A look at the keys to the game, Mark, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Okay, first game of the 3-game series to end the season. Sink Shipley.
Oh,
yeah, kind of simple there.
Yeah, but that's nice.
And correct road woes for Edwin Jackson. We talked about the right-hander splits on the road. 9.12 ERA. He is 1-3. So I hope he can turn that around this evening.
So full count, and he goes after the changeup. That ball off the plate, but Solarte goes chasing, and that's a big strikeout for Shipley. Now 2 outs.
Really good pitch from Shipley, and also good location. You cannot get hurt down there. Boy, that really looked like a fastball. Guy shows a lot of arm, good tail, and depth to that changeup off the plate.
Alex Dickerson, 10 home runs, 37 RBIs, 2 for 5 against Shipley. Outside. Solarte unable to bring in the run, but the Padres in the last half dozen games have been successful with runners in scoring position, hitting a team average of .342 with 4 home runs. See if Dickerson can keep that statistic a positive one. Low and away, 2-0, first base open. Ryan Schimpf on deck. .219, and the 19 also represents his 19 home runs. And now inside, 3-0.
Yeah, that's a 2-0 changeup at 85. I don't think he wants to give anything to Dickerson. Seems like Shipley will take his chances with Ryan Schimpf.
Why not a Shipley Schimpf combination? That's a strike. 92.
92-93 on the Shipley fastball. It seemed pretty straight. That one had a little bit of arm side run to it, not a lot.
Marco at third, Myers at second, and 3-1 now to Dickerson. 2 gone here in the opening inning. Fly ball center field and playable. Haniger tucks it away, and the Padres waste a good opportunity to open the game. The E column for the Diamondbacks. The official score now rules Myers play a single, and E4 as Segura kicked the ball away. So he's charged with a miscue. A check now of the Diamondbacks lineup, brought to you by Hyundai. Gene Segura hitting .320. What a year he's had. Then Jake Lamb, and he's got a lot of home run power. 29 homers this year. Then Goldschmidt and Castillo, the catcher, hits cleanup. Drury in left field. Chris Owens, the shortstop. Socrates Brito in right field, bat 7th. Mitch Haniger in the 8th slot, and Braden Shipley, the pitcher. Segura, one of 3 major leaguers at this stage with 200 hits, 201 to be exact. And he takes strike one from Edwin Jackson. Edwin Jackson paying tribute to Jose Fernandez. 1-1. In his last handful of games, Jackson 4 starts, 2-1, 258 batting average against. In the dirt, 2-1.
It seems like for Edwin Jackson, it's been kind of back and forth. He'll put together a couple good starts, then he'll have one where he just kind of scuffles a little bit. It's going to happen, but we know the stuff is there. And I mentioned it before, but avoiding counts like this is very, very crucial for any pitcher. 2-1. Hitters count.
Now 3-1. You see also the initials of Jose Fernandez and the number 16 just above the bill of his cap. Ball 4, Segura, leadoff walk.
Well, time now for the scouting report for number 33, Edwin Jackson. It's brought to you by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Well, we know he's got the heater, mid-90s, 95, 96. Command early is an issue. Not a good thing, leading off with the walk to Segura. He's got to throw any pitch at any time as well. Pitching backwards, breaking stuff in fastball counts.
Jake Lamb maturing into a solid and potent hitter in the lineup for the D-backs this year. He needs 1 home run to hit the 30 mark. Only 9 for 100 RBIs. Of course, he's got the luxury of Paul Goldschmidt hitting behind him.
We talk about getting ahead, Dick. I mean, the proof is in the pudding right here. Edwin Jackson, after a 0-1 count, 286, which is high. After a 1-0 count, 370.
Yikes. Looks as if there's going to be a pretty nice crowd here tonight at Chase Field on this Friday night. It's a big ball yard. Seats almost 49,000. 1-1. Infield shift on, but all 3 infielders are on the dirt. And only Sardinius on the shortstop side.
Ooh, nice pick.
That was a fastball over there.
Yeah, it was. Got to be on your toes as a first baseman. Hey, you always anticipate the good throw, right? It's the bad throw. How do you react to that? Nice reaction. Nice pick by Will Myers.
Deep to left field, into the corner goes Dickerson, and he has room in foul territory. Tagging and moving to second, and safely is Segura. A look at the Padres defense tonight, brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealer. Dickerson making the play in left field. Jankowski in center tonight, with Margot moving from center to right field. Solarte and Sardinius on the left side. Schimpf and Myers at second and first, and Austin Hedges behind the plate. So alert base running by Segura. Dickerson running away from second base to make that catch. And Segura easily advancing. Paul Goldschmidt turned 29 earlier this month. He's 1 tick under 300. Takes strike 1.
Remember our first trip into Arizona this year. Goldschmidt was really going through a slump to where he was letting a lot of good pitches go early, just freezing, taking them, and then he was caught in a hole and he couldn't catch up. And he just wasn't producing like we know Paul Goldschmidt could.
But he's gotten his hitting act back together, and he hits that one out of play.
And he just got a hanging breaking ball that he worked underneath and he wishes he had back. Take a look at this one. Slider right down the middle. Just pulled off a little too quickly and worked underneath it for the foul ball.
To right field, into the corner. Margot makes the catch, and advancing on another fly ball, foul ball, is Segura to third. That's unusual. Back-to-back foul flies to the outfield. Wellington Castillo, the catcher, steps up. So a walk and a couple of fly balls, and the D-backs have a man 90 feet away. Ball one. Castillo turned 29 in April. Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic has produced more Latin American players to the big leagues this year than any other country. Venezuela, as you might imagine, is right there with 63. That's an opening day, but the Dominican Republic producing 89.
Yeah, Puerto Rico 15-ish, right?
Yeah,
players.
Those two countries way out in front in terms of major league talent. You better be scouting there. 2-0. Big swing and a miss, and he got a pretty good pitch there. A piece of candy.
Eduardo and Carlos. Cuidado, kid. And Carlos, mi amigos.
If I were going to hire a bodyguard, Carlos would be my man.
Oh yeah, he's got the look, doesn't he?
He does, and the size.
Yeah, you put the suit on him with the dark glasses, hands folded in front,
bulge in the back of his belt.
Yeah, don't mess with that guy.
Safe.
I'm going to write something here. K. Tal. Que tal, amigo?
What a wonderful pair they are. That ball's drilled to right center and will fall. Actually, it was off the head of the bat. And dumping a single to right center, scores the run. Segura checks in, and it's 1-0. Sounded good, but actually wasn't hit that hard. But just as the Padres dunked a couple of base hits in the top half of the inning, so does Castillo here.
Well, Dick, you made a good point, and credit that run to Gene Segura, tagging up on a couple fly balls down the line, getting to third base. It's a clutch 2-out hitting by Castillo. Career high now, number 68 in the RBIs for Castillo, and hits for the catcher.
So you look at it saying, they get a run on a hit like that, but you know, the pitcher's at fault. You walk that leadoff man, and that's about 1/3 of the time you can expect him to become a run on the board, and so it is tonight. Brandon Drury quietly having a good season, 275 with 15 homers. He's over 50 RBIs on the year. He can play outfield or third base. Maybe a little second as well.
Very versatile. Brandon Drury. Bob Brenly says that this kid's one of those baseball kids. He's just wall-to-wall baseball. Wants to learn, wants to improve. Pretty aggressive swing also we just saw from Drury.
That'll be out of play. Just 24. born and still lives in Grants Pass, Oregon. Down he goes swinging on the breaking ball. First strikeout for Jackson. But a run on the hit. And the D-backs jump in front 1-0.
Compare him to a young, to me, he's like Buck Showalter. Very young guy, very pay attention to detail, very into the game, always trying to think about things and get better at all facets of the game. I was with Buck with the Yankees, and there's just so many similarities. So he's got a bright future.
Well, Glenn Sherlock knows Andy Green very well. He is the longest tenured member of the Diamondbacks coaching staff. He's celebrating his 19th season with the franchise this 2016 year. And as well as being different roles, he was the bench coach, he was the bullpen coach, as well as the third base coach in 2014. And of course, Andy Green was the third base coach in 2015. But I don't know, you guys, what do you think of the comparison, Andy Green and Buck Showalter? You think of Buck Showalter, you think a grizzled, salty veteran of the game. Andy Green just seems so fresh-faced and so sweet and kind.
I could see a similarity in his baseball style, Julie. As far as personality, I don't know Buck Showalter all that well. I've met him a couple times, but I know Andy has got a sense of humor. I know he's baseball through and through. I mean, to the nth degree as far as detail is concerned, like Buck Showalter. I don't think Andy's going to go around measuring stirrups or guys' pants or how their shoes are tied or how they're wearing their cap like Buck Showalter did back in the day. When he was with the Diamondbacks.
Ryan Schimpf starts the Padres second inning, trailing 1-0, count at 2-2.
In fact, I heard a story that Buck Showalter had so much input to this organization when it first started. He designed the visitors' bench to where it's an uncomfortable sit for the opposition with the knees and the legs and the back.
That one sails over our heads.
The way now they may have changed since then. But the way that the benches are positioned, it's a very uncomfortable sit.
Yeah, that backrest kind of comes out and reaches you early, doesn't it? Even Jankowski leaning forward. Fouled again, 2-2.
So there's always little secretive ways, Professor, to
like those old tricks. I think it was University of Iowa painted all their visiting locker rooms pink.
I heard that.
Yeah, and they just felt that it for football wasn't masculine, and so that might have impact. Who knows? High and a full count.
Remember old Candlestick Park? No heater in the visiting dugout. Home dugout, heater in the bench.
Should there be a major league rule that if you have one
back
asset,
in the day, yeah, there should be.
They should blow up that Candlestick Park. High deep drive. If fair, it's gone, but it's hooking foul. That was close to being number 20. There's 9 pitches now at this at bat.
Let's check out the pitch. He wanted it up and in. It leaks over just a little bit. Inner third.
It's only the 11th start for Shipley. He's given up 13 homers in 65 innings, and that breaking ball hangs high, and the leadoff man on to start the second for the Padres. Turnabout's fair play. Let's see if the Padres can take advantage of the free ticket to open an inning. Austin Hedges, 2 for 17 since coming up from El Paso. He started a bit slower than Margot and certainly Renfroe. Oh boy, had to get out of the way in a hurry there. Not a fastball, 79. So
yeah, curveball that just didn't get it out in front. And I was just going to mention there have been outings for Shipley that he's been wild outside the zone. As this curveball gets away from him, he's walked as many as 6.
You almost have to think fastball. That's 3 curveballs now that just hung. They're not getting it down, snapping it down into the zone.
It is very dry here in the desert, and sometimes for a pitcher it is difficult to get a good grip on that baseball.
A ball and a strike to Hedges. Luis Sardinas on deck. Switch hitter has raised his average up to 265. 3 for 4 in the game yesterday afternoon. No, it's a night game. It seemed I'm a blur. I was so overwhelmed. Oh, that one hits him, and of course he broke a hand and was out for almost a couple of weeks in the PCL season. Let's hope it's not serious. It didn't seem to quite smack him as hard as some do. Watch the left wrist.
Shortstop, number 2.
That's right where he broke it. That's the hamate. So a walk and a hit batsman, and the Padres have 2 men aboard with no one out.
Well, good sign there. No trainer out to assist Austin Hedges. He's talking with Tarek Brock. That's Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, out to have a chat with Shipley.
Luis Sardinas flex that wrist and wincing a bit. No, he does. It looks as if under his batting glove he had a little wrap there that might have, given him enough buffer so that it didn't take the full force right on the bone. So Butcher, the pitching coach, back to the third base dugout. Padres trailing 1-0, getting a little help from the wildness of Braden Shipley here in the top of the second. 229 overall when you add up his at bats Seattle and San Diego, but with the Padres he's hitting 265. There's the strike. Gives up a little on the handle. More control. Inside.
Well, he's not afraid to throw inside. Lefties and righties alike, that's for sure. He's done it consistently tonight early on.
And 2-1. He's having trouble finding the strike zone. Padres hitters, be patient.
Well, with the way he's thrown, though, you don't know if it's going to be on the black, down and away, or up to the soup coolers. You gotta watch your lips at times. Some pitches have gotten away from Shipley.
Edwin Jackson on deck, the pitcher. Rolled to first, and Goldschmidt will take it to the bag. That's as good as a sacrifice as the runners move up. Schimpf to third, Hedges to second, and with one out, Jackson steps up.
With MLB.TV Premium, watch every out-of-market game live in HD on more than 400 supported devices and enjoy free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV.
Jackson this year as a Padre, hitting 200, 4 for 20. Couple of RBIs. Strike one. Couple of home runs in his career. As you know, drafted by the Dodgers back 13 years ago as an outfielder. And 0-2.
Oh, look at it. He's pounding Edwin Jackson on the inside part of the plate.
The obvious is he'll not go to a breaking ball away off the plate outside. Infield is in. And he strikes him out on 3 pitches.
Oh, 3 fastballs right on the inside corner.
So just as the Padres had an opportunity in the first inning with runners at second, third, and 1 out, couldn't score. Now the first 2 men on with no one out here in the second inning, and to this point they're still at second and third. Jankowski looped a single into shallow left center. Low and inside. Oh, you're right. Just whether it's a fastball or a breaking ball, everything in. Schimpf from third. Hedges at first or second now. Off speed. Well placed.
Yeah.
1-1.
And you know what, Dick, after missing with the first pitch curveball, he went right back to it for a strike. It's telling me that Shipley's got that confidence in that secondary pitch. He'll throw it any time. And not afraid to throw it with that runner on third base. Trusting Castillo behind the plate.
Line foul. And lower deck pretty much filled left to right. In the dirt, good block, Castillo. Outfield swung around toward left, but not drastically. The right field corner wide open.
Yeah, that's a good point. If he gets a breaky ball, middle in, something, he could pull it down that line and run forever.
And he strikes him out off speed. So the Padres get runners to second and third in each of the first 2 innings with 1 out, but no runs yet.
first 2 months of the 2016 season as a member of the Miami Marlins, where he formed a friendship as well as a mentorship with the late Jose Fernandez. And I asked Edwin what their last interaction was, and he said it was about a week before Fernandez's passing that they were texting back and forth, and of course they kept in touch over the course of the season. And that text message ended with Edwin Jackson saying, "I love you, bro," and Jose Fernandez texting back, "I love you too, bro." And of course tonight he honors Jose with the number 16 on his cap, as well as drawn in the mound.
Thank you, Julie, and that will continue. Of course, we're coming to the end of this season, but so many of the players and fans touched by that awful tragedy.
Yeah, even though you don't wear the same uniform, you're brothers. It's a fraternity.
Yeah. Drive into the right field corner, slicing, and that ball is foul. That's a short porch there down by the foul pole. And flirting with something special, Chris Owings. He has 4 home runs this year. Owings turned 25 last month. First came up to the D-backs as a call-up in 2013.
It's going to be interesting, Dick, what the Diamondbacks do this offseason. Front office, field. Well, not the year that they anticipated, that's for sure.
High fly ball, center field. Jankowski eases under it for the first down.
Well, you've heard the term when a team is snake bit. Well, the pun is intended here. This season, Shelby Miller, what is going on? Is it mechanical? Is it between the ears? What is the deal with the right-hander and A.J. Pollock? This happened back, before the season started.
Yeah.
The fractured elbow, the pulled groin. Only 12 games played for A.J. Pollock.
Yeah, the D-backs gave up a lot to get Shelby Miller. Dansby Swanson, their #1 draft pick, an infielder, and Ender Inciarte. Miller with Atlanta last year, so there should not be a big surprise. He had an off year last year. He was 6-17, but his ERA was 3.02. So you figure that was just the Braves not supporting him. But
Sure.
He comes here and he can't get anybody out. Swing and a miss. Off speed. No, that was the fastball down there.
That ball had a little cut to it. There's A.J. Pollock.
Socrates Brito at the plate. You got to show a little wisdom as a hitter then if you're going to have a first name Socrates.
Good call, Professor.
He's got a nice body size, doesn't he? Looks like a hitter.
Very athletic. Yeah, you better be smart with a name like Socrates.
And
yes,
he
did.
chases the ball in the dirt. And that's strike 3. Jackson's second strikeout.
See, I always thought Socrates was Socrates when I was a kid. Like calculus, I thought it was calculus. I just didn't know where to put the emphasis.
And you were going to go to Wichita State, huh? Wichita.
So how you recovering from yesterday?
I'm not sure. That was an emotional tsunami. I mean, I just
it's draining.
It was so, but it was so brilliantly orchestrated. High pop up, medium depth in right field, and a 1-2-3 inning. But many thanks to Mike D and the Padres. We'll talk more about that later. For the timeless moment, brought to you by Coors Banquet. September 30th, this date, 1962. As ground ball up the middle. And Margot thrown out, 6-3. One away here in the third. Last game of the regular season, forcing a 3-game playoff with the Dodgers to crown the National League champion. The Giants in their very last game. Of course, we've had some great final games of the season, haven't we?
It's unbelievable how you play 162 games. And back then it was 154. Divisional play came in play 68 or 69 rather. And then it comes down to you got to play a 1-game playoff. It just goes to show you how crucial each game is.
Yeah, you think April, May, okay, that's all right. That ball drilled into the left field corner, and that ball is foul. Not by much. Myers flirts with 29. And buckle your seatbelt. I'm going to tell you something.
I need the extender. Can you give me a minute?
Tomorrow's October.
It's unbelievable. October 1st.
Already. Weren't we just over in Peoria doing spring training games? 0-2.
Seemed like yesterday you and I were just walking across the parking lot there from the hotel to go do a game.
Yeah. All those good folks up there, those volunteers that do a terrific job as ushers and ticket takers. Line drive right to Goldschmidt. Had to lean out and backhand it. Myers hits one poorly in the first time up, and it drops on the right field line for a single. Then he drills one, and this is the result. You're out.
And Will Myers, all he can do is just tip his cap to Paul Goldschmidt.
Way off the line.
Yep, positioned perfectly.
He probably plays off the bag as far as any first baseman in the league. Solarte, with runners at second and third and one out the first time up, struck out swinging. Shift on. Trying to beat the shift with a bunt. Foul ball. Here's our top tier player profile, brought to you by Arco. Longest active hitting streak in the majors. 14 for Solarte. Freddie Freeman's streak ended in the last game at 30. Now it's Solarte on the top of the consistency list.
And that's consistently putting the ball in play. And we have an issue out here with Andy Green and the home plate umpire, Jerry Meals.
They're calling that bunt try by Solarte a fair ball. And Andy Green obviously doesn't agree. But the umpire rules. And the Padres go 1-2-3. Credit the putout unassisted to the catcher. 1-0 Arizona after 2.5. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Arizona. The pitcher leads it off, Braden Shipley. And then the top of the order, Segura and Lamb. Cubs won again today, 102 victories.
Wow.
For the Northsiders.
They got it going. Hey, on paper, they're the team, right? I've got the on paper World Series, Boston, Chicago.
Oh, everybody would love that.
Some great,
including the Fox network. Ground ball, fair ball, and Solarte off balance and throws him out. Oh my, what a throw off balance. What in the Brooks Robinson is going on?
I thought Yangervis Solarte had no chance of getting rid of this ball, and then the accuracy. That is one unbelievable play right there.
He won 2 full steps into foul territory.
And credit Will Myers with the footwork at first base.
Now, it is the pitcher running, but nevertheless, that's a big time major league throw. 1 out, and top of the order, Segura. The Mets have won, and so in that National League wild card race, they're still in a good position. They beat Philadelphia 5-1. And the Cardinals are winning 5-0 at home against Pittsburgh in the 7th. Dodgers and Giants start a 3-game series. They're just underway up at AT&T. Smothered foul, 2-1. Let's take a look at the standings, brought to you by UC San Diego Health, the wild card. Mets with a win, so they have a 1.5 lead now. San Francisco has the 2nd spot currently, but St. Louis is winning, which would put pressure on the Giants to beat the Dodgers tonight.
Boy, it seems like St. Louis just can't crack that 1.5 game 3rd spot in that wild card.
Segura goes after the high limb, 2-2. Look in from the right field corner. He walked the first time and scored, and now has the count full again. There's the leaders in hits in the majors. Altuve with 212 and Mookie Betts of the Red Sox 211. Segura 3 ahead of Dustin Pedroia, another Boston Red Sox hitter.
Well, prior to this year, the most hits for Segura in the season was 13 with Milwaukee, where he had 173, so he's blown that out of the water.
Fouled at the plate. And he's hit with power as well.
Yeah.
20 home runs, stealing 32 bases. He's a 14th in Major League history now. In Major League history, Segura the 14th. They have 200 hits, 20 home runs, 30 stolen bases.
And Edwin Jackson knows what Segura can do. And when you look at the Fox track, brought to you by Honda, look, he's staying out of the heart of the plate, trying to work the corners.
Fouls that off.
And that was a mistake that he kind of got jammed on right there.
Bright spots for Arizona. It's been a very disappointing year. Segura, Goldschmidt, that figured. Yasmani Tomas comes out with a 30 home run, 80 RBI year. We already talked about Jake Lamb, and Robbie Ray has had a good season. Record doesn't reflect it. The left-hander looks like he's got a future in the rotation.
Hard throwing lefty.
Ground ball sharply to short. Sardinius across. 2 away. And that'll bring up Jake Lamb. Lamb fouled to left field his first time, but that did move the runner to second. And Goldschmidt followed with a foul to right field. That sent Segura, who had walked to lead off, to third, and he scored on a blue pit by Castillo, and that's the only run of the game, only hit of the game.
Wow, this is almost reminiscent of the San Francisco Giants first and second half. Individually for Jake Lamb. Oh, the numbers way down.
Yeah, they were campaigning. Remember at the All-Star break when we were here for him to be the fans' pick, the last pick for the All-Star game. Pitchers found out a weakness and they exploited right down the line. Check swing, 1-1. Foul tip. No, thought I heard foul tip.
I thought I did too, Dick. Huh.
Yes, now it's been corrected by plate umpire Meals. 1-1. One and two.
Really good cut fastball there by Edwin Jackson, down and in. Austin Hedges did a good job of putting down the sign and with his glove saying, come on now, get it in there, and that's exactly what he did.
Schimpf out in shallow right field. Shift on for Lamb. .94 just off the inside edge.
Yeah, notice the cutter about 90, 91. And then the four-seam fastball a little bit more giddy up at 94. Slider.
In the dirt. You think about this season, the reclamation projects for Darren Balsley, Drew Pomeranz, and Brad Hand, and Edwin Jackson, and Clayton Richard. I mean, players just out there and coached up as a Padre to become a factor.
He's worked with Luis Perdomo. We've seen him mature out there. Brandon Morrow coming back from injury. He's got a good arm out of that bullpen. As you mentioned, Hand, Buchter.
Way outside and a walk to Lamb. 2 outs and he jogs to first. Second walk from Jackson. And here are 3 of the bright spots: Perdomo, Richard, and Hand. So, if I'm the owner of the club and I'm free to go into that wallet. It's been a disappointing year in terms of wins and losses. 68 wins, 91 losses. But you reward those that are doing a winning job. So that Christmas bonus, Ballsy's going to get a good check.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've been around a lot of pitching coaches, Dick, and I know you know Darren Ballsy very well. But this guy is just a tireless worker, putting his pitchers in a position to succeed, giving them every bit of information they need to succeed.
Goldschmidt in the dirt, skips away from Hedges. He doesn't let that happen often. And the wild pitch moves Lamb into scoring position. Well, a walk and 2 fly balls and a blue pit got 1 run in. Now a 2-out walk and a wild pitch. Goldschmidt up there with a chance to make it 2-0 or more.
Yeah, spiked the slider. The ball checked up on Austin.
In the dirt again. Goldie, as they call him, leads the team. 93 runs batted in. Hit well to deep center. Jankowski watches, and that ball is gone. Straightaway center. Goldschmidt rounds the bases. Home run number 24. And the D-backs lead 3-0. RBIs 94 and 95 for the All-Star.
Oh, flirting with disaster with the 2-0 pitch, and it looked like a cut fastball. And it just lays down the center of the diamond, or center of the plate, and he takes it up the center of the diamond, opposite field. Wow.
Just into that porch out there under the scoreboard. Here you can see Hedges had the target outside, and that ball leaked right into the power zone. They measure it at 435 feet. So Jackson has given up only 2 hits, but he's walked 2, and both of those walks have become runs. One driven in on a bloop single, and that one by a bomb to center field by Goldschmidt. Pulled foul. Castillo knocked in the first run with that soft single to center, right center. Tough game. You make a mistake on a good hitter and they punish you. Like throwing a pork chop in front of a coyote, isn't it? You don't get many, but when you see one you like.
It's frustrating because then there are times you throw it right down the middle, they'll swing through it, they'll take it, they'll pop it up. But when you know the count being 2-0 and anything in that zone to Paul Goldschmidt, he's going to attack it.
1-2 in the dirt. (3-0) Arizona. D-backs would have to sweep the series to pass the Padres into next to last in the NL West. San Diego owning a 2-game lead coming in. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Jackson mad with himself as he strikes out Castillo and reacts to the fact he gave up this 2-run home run to Paul Goldschmidt. After 3 in Arizona, the score 3-0.
Two of the top Padres prospects. We've got Cal Quantrill and, of course, Anderson Espinoza. You guys are here in Peoria, Arizona for the Arizona Instructional League for the Padres. First of all, we haven't caught up with you since the draft, since Media Day. How have you been doing? Catch us up.
It's been pretty good. Playing 3 different levels. Enjoyed every moment of it. A lot of bus rides, but it's good. It felt good to get back out on the mound again.
And Anderson, you were in Fort Wayne, Indiana at Low A, and now you're here in Arizona. What do you make of this experience so far?
Yeah, I'm happy for be here for Fort Wayne. I like baseball. I like San Diego Padres, and I'm working hard.
Now, you guys are in Instructional League for 3 weeks, and it all culminates in the Futures game at Petco Park, which takes place on October 7th, which is this coming up Friday. And, gentlemen, this has got to be pretty exciting to be playing on a major league field.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sweet. It's even come out here and see this. It's what we all want to do in the end, right? And obviously we culminate this by going to Petco and getting to see hopefully what a lot of us will get to do in a couple of years.
What is your day like? Take us through your day in instructional league. You wake up, tell us what you do.
Up at 6:30, show up at the field at 7, get breakfast with this guy, make our way over to the gym, and then basically follow around the coaches wherever they tell us to go until game time around 12:30. So long days of baseball, but we get home pretty early and hang out around the hotel.
What has it been like for you, Anderson, meeting these guys in instructional league, forming friendships, and kind of getting to know your teammates?
Yeah, I get up at 6:30, breakfast, and running a lot and working hard every day. Yeah.
And what happens after this? Where do you go from here?
So from here, we'll go to Petco, like we were saying, and then everyone heads home. So he's got a little longer flight than me, but I'm actually going to go back to school and finish off a couple more classes, and everyone kind of disperses until we're called back in February.
Now, Anderson, you are friends and also former teammates with Margot and Asuaje. You know them both. What is it like to see them play here with the Padres at the Major League level now?
Yes, I was with Margot and Asuaje in Boston Red Sox. I'm excited for, I kind of see for you guys, and so I like it. Yeah.
This is a very exciting time, and fans, you guys can check these guys as well as the rest of the Futures teammates. You can check them out at Petco on Friday, October 7th. You can go to Padres.com to register for tickets. The tickets are free, and it's open seating, so you definitely want to register soon so you can get a great seat behind home plate, obviously. Gentlemen, congratulations, and thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks to Quantrill and Espinosa. Julie, and there's your information, fans. Info at Padres.com/futures game.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
There's two right-handed pitchers that, as you project, look in the crystal ball.
Yep.
Probably not next year, but 2018, they could be right at the top of the rotation. Quantrill from Stanford is going to go back, try to get his degree. The #1 pick this last year. And Anderson Espinosa was the prime acquisition in the Drew Pomeranz trade with Boston. Everyone, well, the Baseball America calls him our #1 project right now. Prospect. A project, too. That ball by Schimpf has hit a ton to right center field. Hold on, fans. That's number 20. Touch 'em all. A 2-run blast by Ryan Schimpf. His 20th home run, and that also boosts him over the 50 mark in RBIs. And the Padres cut into the lead. It's 3-2.
Catcher, Austin Hedges.
Two-seam fastball that leaks out her third. Great extension from Ryan Schimpf. How about that, Professor? We mentioned it in our pregame. Number 20. It's worth another look. Good for Ryan Schimpf.
That 20 looks like so much bigger than 19, and 51 seems a lot larger than 49. It's not just a couple of RBIs. They're just good looking. Hard hit ball to shortstop. Good play made by Owings, and he throws out Hedges.
You know, I had a nice conversation with Ryan today at the hotel, and he said, you know, I went through peaks and valleys a little bit. You know, at first they tried to challenge me. I put the ball in the ballpark, extra base power, but you know, then they tried to bury me in off the plate. I started fouling off pitches, the good strikes. And then they had to make an adjustment, and you know what? It's worked out perfectly for Ryan Schimpf. Couldn't be happier for the kid.
So 1 out now to Luis Sardinas. Padres right back in it as Schimpf's 2-run homer matches Paul Goldschmidt's 2-run blast. And get this, that one was measured at 456 feet.
Oh. A lot of punch in that bat from Ryan Schimpf.
Sardinas grounded to first, his initial at bat. .64 pitches now for Braden Shipley. 1 out in the 4th. Slice foul down into the second, third row.
We got a game break coming up from the Fens, Fenway Park, and the Blue Jays. Oh, things are getting interesting.
Yeah, Boston has locked in the Eastern title in the American League, but Toronto fighting for a wild card. Inside, full count. Edwin Jackson on deck.
You know, getting back to Ryan Schimpf, the other thing that amazes me about Ryan, it's such a nice, easy swing.
Yeah,
it's not like a violent swing.
Yeah,
So-
like that was a violent swing, Sardinius.
Yes, exactly.
He doesn't swing.
That's
like
right. Ryan is nice and easy. He gets to the ball, and it's got to be a mechanical thing, because when all the mechanical parts of the swing are in order, you take that easy swing.
With
and
that hip turn.
Yeah, and you get the hands through, you get the extension. That's a pretty looking swing.
Reaches out, punches that one into left center field for a base hit. And Sardinius keeps it going here in the 4th inning. That gives Jackson a chance to move him along with the sacrifice. See, that's the kind of hitting Sardinius will keep him in the major leagues. Not that other swing trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Exactly. Nothing wrong with a little soft serve. Serve it up to shallow center field. A 2-seam fastball. As you mentioned, Dick, not the violent swing. Just patient, throwing the head of the bat. It's almost like a tennis player going back and right, kind of just
almost a drop shot.
Yeah,
there's
drop
Jackson
shot.
lining it to center. He has a base hit, and Sardinius moves up to second. That's the one he wanted the last time up, with runners at second and third, but he'll take it. 4th hit of the inning. Double started at Dickerson. Schimpf a home run, and now single Sardinius, and here's Jackson's base hit.
One ball hit hard, the Schimpf home run. Sardinius, a little soft serve, and a broken bat single for Edwin Jackson.
This Chase Field is like Coors Field Southwest.
It's a good call.
All that territory out there, and use the real estate. That's what's happened in this inning.
Second visit of the evening for Shipley from Rob Butcher, the pitching coach for the Diamondbacks. Candy.
You've got to stay with my partner here, Mark Grant. Now, Candy is Tom Candiotti, who is the color commentator in Arizona.
And Greg Schulte, the radio voice of these Diamondbacks since day one here in downtown Phoenix. There's Candy. There's Knuckleballer. Hey,
I wonder
Candy,
if he talks like
where's the governor? All right, Candy, we got something going here. 3-2 Diamondbacks. One out, first and second.
In the red shirt, front row to your right.
There's the governor. And engineer Leo Gilmartin and Scott Geyer, director of communications. All right, back to the action, one out.
Come back to yourself, will you? Here's Jankowski, bloop single and a strikeout. 2 on, 1 out. In the dirt, and another good block by Castillo.
Okay, a lot of curveballs to Jankowski, right? This evening so far, and talk about the offense here at Chase Field this year.
7.7 runs a game in their 6 games. They're 3-3 here in Arizona. And an update: the home run total 177, an all-time Padre record. Tried to lay down a bunt unsuccessfully. 21 pitches now for Shipley in a long inning for him. Tying run, Sardinius there at second base. Jackson at first. Good pitch there. Didn't take a cut. 1-2. Manny Margot would be next. Up the middle, and they go to second for 1, and he dropped it on the transfer. And second base umpire indicating Ryan Blakeney, so runner out. Second baseman Segura on the transfer dropped the ball. So first and third now for Manny Margot.
And it was another curveball from Shipley to Jankowski. Here it is, like a cat. Boy, Shipley got to that ball nicely. Segura with the catch, the transfer.
And Andy Green will take that exchange, put Jankowski at first, get his pitcher back in the dugout. Margot has grounded out twice tonight. Tying run now 90 feet away. Sardinius. Inside. Game 2 of the series as we close it down here in 2016. We'll be on the air tomorrow night, Fox Sports San Diego. Padres Live, the pregame show at 4:30. Clayton Richard for the Padres, Archie Bradley 7 and 9 for the Snakes. Oh, that pitch is called a strike. Looked a little inside.
Yeah, it did.
1-1. Andy Green's club. Yeah, he's saying, isn't it 2-0? Scoreboard says 1-1, and the way he nodded is almost as if it is 2-0. Scoreboard's had a little trouble here.
Yeah,
tonight.
Jerry Meals just put up 2-0, Dick, so it is 2-0, and they just changed it there on the scoreboard.
This isn't Wrigley Field. Huh? He's the best. Whoever keeps score, the scoreboard there. And that is a strike. Just caught the corner at the knees. Now, I've never seen in any ballpark the kind of fast fingers that the man who operates the center field scoreboard at Wrigley.
Quickest I've ever seen.
You can't beat him. I mean, you see the pitch, look up, it's already up there. And he does, and he's never wrong. Action pitch, 2-run. Runners at the corners. And a line drive right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Doesn't get by the right fielder. It's going to be good enough for a double. Here comes Jankowski around third. Oh, puts on the brakes as Hoffman holds. The game is tied as Margot delivers. It's 3-all. Oh, he's a doubles machine. Sardinius comes in with the third run in the inning.
Well, one of the impressive things early on for Manuel Margot is going to the opposite field. We've seen him do it a few times. Fastball away. White tried to pull that ball, puts it right in between Brito and the foul line. That is some good big league hitting right there.
Yeah, 22 to already have that kind of skill to realize him. You're in trouble. They want you to try to swing hard and pull it. That's an easy out. You go with it, and that one just a hair away from becoming a triple. Brito just got to the ball. If he doesn't, then that goes to the wall. Margot standing on third, and Jankowski would have scored. And on the first pitch, around goes Myers, the 8th man to bat here in the 4th inning. Credit Margot with his 3rd RBI. Jankowski, he was running hard until Glenn Hoffman threw up the stop sign. And the bullpen is now busy for Arizona. Delgado and Hathaway start to throw. Long inning, 80 pitches now for Shipley. In the dirt again. Hathaway, the lefty. We've seen Delgado many a time, the right-hander.
You know, usually they should be flip-flopped out there. The lefty should be on the right side, and the righty should be on the left side because they're both coming out of the same throwing area down in that bullpen.
I guess they have more space in their living room out there.
Yeah.
Myers a chance to pick up a couple of runs here. Add to that RBI total. Fly ball to center. Long run for center fielder Haniger, and he makes the catch and the final out. Padres get 3. A 2-run home run by Ryan Schimpf, the big blow. Then a couple of singles and Margot's double. And we're even at 3 in Phoenix. Oh, yeah. See, you're just jealous that you can't be here. You have to stay in that awful place, San Diego. Ryan Schiff back in his fielding position at second after the 2-run homer. Number 20 for the LSU Tiger. Brandon Drury leads it off for Arizona here in the 4th. Interesting totals up there. The D-backs 3 runs on 2 hits. Padres 3 runs on 7 hits.
And Edwin Jackson needs to throw up a bagel here in the bottom of the 4th after the Padres dropped the 3 spot in their top half.
3 runs and 5 hits for San Diego. Top of the 4th, goes after the high limb. 2-1.
You know, Dick, just to elaborate on David Ortiz, are you kidding me? A .315 average. He's, you know, the 38 home runs, 125 now RBIs, 26.
I thought that was his age.
Man,
he's amazing.
What a year!
And what a popular player. I think that he won over the entire nation back in the tragedy at the Marathon, and he got up in front of Fenway and made his speech, colorful as it was. Two and 2. Fouled away. Drury, Owings, and Brito in the D-backs 4th.
by the way, 127 RBIs, 127. So
he's going to be in the 130s.
Oh,
well, might be. He needs a handful. And that runs the count full. Jackson very deliberate here in the 4th.
Big pitch coming up here.
Back through and over the shoulder of Jackson into center field. Drury leads it off with a sharp hit. And it's time now for greater coverage of baseball, brought to you, as always, by T-Mobile. A check of MLB news and notes. Giants scope. Orioles second baseman, 2 for 4, double a home run. Orioles beat the Yankees 8-1. Francisco Lindor. Oh, I like him. 2 for 2, double home run. He's one of the key players in that Indians attack. They beat the Royals, and Ortiz, not only a home run, but another base hit, 3 RBIs in the 5-3 win against Toronto. Big Papi has never been bigger. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Owings, who flied to center field his first at bat. Well, we got a couple of bigs going. One in the National League and one in the American. Big Papi,
right,
with the Red Sox, and then your favorite, the Big Sexy.
Oh, I love Big Sexy.
Yeah.
Bartolo Colon.
Yeah.
Always fun to watch. I mean, that's the great thing about baseball, right? It doesn't matter what size, shape, height you are. You can still succeed in this game of baseball.
That's, you know, some would say, well, you don't have to be in that great a shape to play this game.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
And there are some examples that make you wonder. But you go back to maybe the greatest in the history of the game, the Bambino.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So don't cut anyone short. I'm going to go out and put another 20 pounds on and make a comeback. 1-1 to Owings, way outside.
I mean, he still throws strikes. He still has good control. Bartolo Colon.
Where do you think he'll pitch in the rotation if the Mets make a wild card slot?
Well, maybe a 3 or 4, maybe, you know, maybe even a 2.
Yeah, with all their injuries.
With all their injuries, right?
He moves up the ladder.
Yep. What's he throw, like 90, 89% fastballs? He just tries to locate.
I'd hit him cleanup too.
That's right. We saw the home run off of James Shields this year.
There, it wasn't a Padre highlight, but that certainly was a national highlight. Fans are saying, pick up the tempo, pick up the tempo. When you go into the wave and we're only in the 4th inning, come on. 3-3 tie.
Well, keeping the runner close at first base and hoping for a double play ball with nobody out.
Drury does not have a stolen base all year, and he's in his 132nd game, so kind of wasted motion to keep going over there.
And Owings has only grounded into 6 double plays this year. Yasmani Tomas leads in that category with 17 grounding into double plays.
Line drive, one hopper. He'll go to second for one, fire to first for the double play. Sardinas, and then the gunshot over to Myers for the 6-3 double play.
Well, you can see why Owings really doesn't ground into a lot of double plays. He can get down that line. Now, this is a nice play by Sardinas, and why mess it up on the transfer? His momentum is going that way, and they just get Owings. It looks like, what, by about a half step?
It was hit so hard, that was the difference. He just did get him by a stride. So 2 outs. Socrates Burrito struck out swinging his first time. Fills up that batter's box, Burrito. Whoa, broken bat goes all the way to the first base coaching box and the ball into the crowd. That's better than the reverse, because that is a spear. It'll be kindling for the upcoming winter. You know, it does get chilly at nights in the winter here, doesn't it?
You bet. Shattered. Shadoobie off the end of the bat. Oh, you're right, Dick. That's gnarly.
1-2. He looks bigger than 6'2" and 205, doesn't he? Rangy.
Yes, he is.
From the Dominican. Just 23. Actually turned 24 earlier this month. Reaches out, punches that one to left field, and foul. Sounds like we're in Milwaukee.
Yeah. Trying to get everybody going, right?
Roll out the barrel here. You know, you can have a barrel of fun.
Oh, all you have to do is ask. I shall receive. Roll it out.
Back with the 1-2. Reaches out again, punches that out beyond shortstop, and Sardinas reaches up and tucks it away. Nice play by the shortstop. A couple of good plays by Luis. The double play on the hot shot low liner, and this one just trying to sneak into the shallow left field. Sardinas over the shoulder, denies. Geico memorable moment. Number 3, Melvin Upton. 3 walk-off homers this year. The most by a Padres hitter in a single season. That makes part 2 of our number 3 moment from the 2016 Padres as he hits a homer against the Yankees. Another walk-off against Arizona. And how about one against the Dodgers? Our number 3 moment from the 2016 Padres season brought to you by Geico. Part 2 coming up tomorrow night. Down to the final 2 top moments, huh?
Yep.
You guessing what they might be?
I've got an idea. I mean, I guess by me.
Solarte, a sharp ground ball, well played by Goldschmidt. Took that one right off the foul line and denied a double by Solarte.
I guess by me telling you what I think my favorite wouldn't spoil it, right?
No.
I really like the Melvin Upton steal of home, the straight steal of home. The way he avoided the tag there, it was just truly amazing.
Yeah, swimming around the tag.
Oh.
And I don't,
he changed direction in air.
But maybe it's the law of recency, and we're all guilty of remembering. That must have been the best play and forgetting one in April and May. But Hunter Renfroe, I mean,
it's up there,
huh?
It's up there.
It's really up there,
Literally.
way up there. So they might have 1 and 1A,
Right.
Can you top this? How about Alex Dickerson doubled, started the 3-run 4th inning for the Padres. Scored on the home run by Schimpf. Checks his swing. Yeah, he's got a good eye. He may have the best eye on the club. I mean, he doesn't swing at the borderline pitches very often. Walks as good as a hit, they say. Lead 1 out walk. That is the 2nd from Shipley.
Hey Dick, remember we just saw number 3, but I guess I understand from the truck there's 3A. So stay tuned for that. It's coming up tonight. So we just saw number 3.
Right.
So I guess there's a 3A that they've added.
Well, it must be Melvin Upton doing both then. I bet that's what.
Look at you.
Yeah. Should have been a defense attorney.
Psychic. You're psychic and I'm psycho.
Psychic. Oh, Schimpf had that home run swing there. Planted one 456 feet to deep center field.
And look where the pitch was, down and away, right? So what does Shipley do? The first pitch is in. Pitch number 1, inner third.
Inside again. Here's the home run. This one's got wings. Everyone just stopped and looked, even the center fielder.
Wow.
Number 20 for the man that was in the minor leagues the first 3 months of the season. Hits 20 home runs since July 1. So if you prorate that over a whole season, 20 home runs in 3 months, 40 home runs.
Yeah, 40 plus, right?
Can you imagine? He's become valued property.
Yeah.
I mean, hope he stays with the Padres, but he's got value now.
Absolutely.
I like his attitude too.
Yeah, handles himself so well.
Going to be some really difficult decisions in the offseason, whether they are trades or whether they bring up players. Are they too young? Should we wait another year? It's going to be some battles in spring training. And the pitching staff, I mean, who knows? That is totally up for grabs. Yep. He hits that one high in the air to deep right center field, but there's room for this one, and Hannigan tugs it away.
Every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed, it's Skip and Shannon. Weekdays at 6:30 a.m. Pacific, only on FS1.
They do have opinions. You like a good debate, good argument. Yeah. Let them go at it themselves. You don't want to get into that ring. They threw a lot of tough punches. Austin Hedges hit by a pitch and grounded sharply to short. Dickerson at first, 2 outs. Breaking ball, strike. Might be Shipley's last inning. He's due to hit second in the bottom of the 5th. Already at 94 pitches. Another breaking ball, another strike. Ground ball toward the hole, cut off by Land. The flip is in time. Dickerson roaring in there and made it a close play. We're at the halfway mark of this one, 4.5 in the books in Chase Field, Phoenix.
Here at Chase Field. Well, if you are a rookie, there is no getting away from it. It's just comes with the territory. Rookie dress-up day. That was last night on the flight from San Diego to Arizona. Of course, that's Carlos Asuaje in all of his Purple Rain glory, dressed up as Prince. Compliments of who else? The pitcher tonight, Edwin Jackson. He got the costume and he said, "This is what you're wearing." Now, some of the other rookies, of course, dressed up as well, but those pictures we could not show you.
Yeah, who was that in the skivvies trying to get through security? That was
Buddy Bauman.
That was about as hilarious. They're wanding Buddy Bauman. All he's got on is skivvies. I mean, come on. Where are you going to hide something? That was hilarious.
Oh, man.
Now that's real. That's our government doing their job. Boy, you're not going to get through here. You've got something hidden in there. He said, "Yeah, I do." Oh, my.
That was a lot of fun.
Bottom of the 5th, tied at 3. It's Mitch Haniger, the center fielder, and then Phil Gosselin is in the on-deck circle to hit for the pitcher. So, indeed, it's the end of the night for Braden Shipley. Gives up 3 earned runs and 7 hits. Walked 2, hit 1. Ripped into left field for a base hit. Haniger with a solid single to start things here in the 5th inning. Time now for the tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks.
Well, we're going to focus on Yangervis Solarte at third base. He's made a couple of good plays. This hot smash to his right, thrown all the way across to Will Myers. On the run, accurately for a big out. And Edwin Jackson will tip his cap in a really hard, hold it back and smiles. on that one.
So Chip Hale, with the leadoff single, decides, wait, I'm not going to take out Shipley. He's up there. He can bunt. Why waste a pinch hitter? Because he's up there to sacrifice anyway. And squares and takes strike one. So he may have bought himself another inning, or maybe not. Maybe it's just you don't want to use a pinch hitter here this early. And these are little moments in baseball that are so delicious. You know, what is Hale thinking? We only can speculate. And first guessing is fun.
Sure.
Pulls it back. 1-1.
Well, according to the scorecards that are given out before the game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bench players for Chip Hale.
How many for the Padres?
For the Padres, 3, 6, 9 as well.
Wow. Shipley does not have a sacrifice hit. This is his 25th at bat. And that's a pretty good bunt. Myers thought about going to second and goes the safe way, gets the sure out. Well done by Shipley. 3-4 in the putout. Haniger in scoring position to break the 3-3 tie.
Oh, really good technique by Shipley, getting himself in a good position. That bat is level. And the higher the pitch, especially on a fastball, easier to bunt up near eye level. He did a nice job.
So that sets up the table for Gene Segura, their top hitter, 320, and Jake Lamb, one of their top home run hitters. Right field. Margot squeezes the second out and fires in. Margot, better than average arm.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the Renfro rocket arm, but he's going to be very adequate in center field.
Did you see how quickly he caught that ball? Turned to get that left shoulder square to second base, and then threw it accurately, hit the cutoff man. Huh, what a concept, right? Hit the cutoff man right in the chest.
That's a point.
Okay, he comes around. Watch him. He catches it. Watch him spin that glove shoulder towards the target. Get lined up over the top, and look at where this one ends up. Oh, right at the chest of the cutoff man. Thank you very much.
So 2 away. Jake Lamb now with Haniger there at second. Lamb has fouled out and walked and scored. 3 runs for the home team, and 2 of the 3 were men who walked. Segura walked in the first inning, came around on a soft single by Castillo, then the walk to Lamb preceded the home run by Goldschmidt.
Good tight slider right there by Jackson.
Jumps ahead, 2 strikes. In the dirt, good block edges.
Hey, Professor, I'm going to give away a little secret.
Just whisper.
You know I'm going to give you for your birthday in January?
Well, how's it going to be a secret if you're going to tell me?
Well,
what
I'm going
you're
to divulge it right now. No, it's not a tie.
I've got a tie like that.
I know.
I like the pink.
Is yours a clip-on? Anyway, you know I'm going to get you?
What?
Surfing lessons.
Give them to my wife. They'd be wasted on me. Shim able to make the play on Lamb. That was a tough play. Backhand, good throw. And the leadoff single doesn't bite the Padres. It's 5 in the books. game summary. The D-backs struck in the first inning as Segura scored on that blue pit by Castillo. And then in the third, it's Paul Goldschmidt going deep, 435 feet, a two-run homer, his 24th of the year. The Padres answer in the top of the fourth inning, Ryan Schimpf's 20th home run of the season. And it's a 3-2 game. A couple of singles, and Manny Margot slashes a double to right field, and we have a tie game. This is our Harrah's game summary. Edwin Jackson has gone through 5, 3 runs, only 4 hits. Shipley is out of the game now, 5 innings, 7 hits and 3 runs. Schimpf and Goldschmidt with 2-run homers. There's a sharp ground ball past the diving Goldschmidt. There's one he didn't get, and Sardinhas has his second hit. He had 3 last night. Leadoff man aboard as he greets Randall Delgado, the new pitcher for Arizona.
Well, he's seeing the ball really well, Sardinhas, using the whole field and feeling very good at the plate and getting good results.
If you were a scout and only could look at the statistical sheet, and that's misleading, of course, that we all know statistics can lie. But Delgado, look at the numbers. He's pitched 50 and 2/3 innings. He struck out 54, more than 1 per inning. But yet he's 4-5 with a 4.26 ERA, and the opposing hitters are batting .219.
Yeah.
You would think this is a guy you want to keep around, and yet he's good when he's good, and when he's bad, he's really bad. Apparently, we've seen him when he's been very good past years.
Yeah, there's a walk in there once in a while, inconsistent with his in the home runs. You bet.
But this is a tough pace to pitch.
Sure it is, no question.
Jackson trying to move the runner along. Pulls it back and takes strike 2. And our pitching change, Delgado, brought to you by El Cajon Ford.
Wow, 77 games. The lefty's having a .286 average with 4 home runs, 8 all told. But there's the walks, 35 and 73. Big kid, Delgado.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong line. I was one up. I had De La Rosa, not Delgado. I'm going to recover here before the season's over, I promise. Delgado's numbers 4 and 2, ERA about the same, 4.5, and a swing and a miss by Jackson.
Good breaking ball right there.
Unable to sacrifice. Delgado strikes him out. Travis Jankowski, the leadoff hitter, 1 for 3 so far tonight.
You know, when Billy Wagner was a rookie back in the Qualcomm days, I'm looking in the media guide, and I'm looking at the last page, right? And I'm reading, this kid's from San Diego County. Oh my gosh, how did this guy slip by the San Diego Scouts? I'm giving him all this information on Billy Wagner. The pages were stuck together. I was reading about another kid.
Bernie Mazzola.
And I said, I'm sorry, I was reading the wrong information.
It happens.
So I'm right, it happens all the time.
You know, the Prince, late in the year, in order to get every player's offensive statistics and pitching statistics, the print gets a lot smaller.
Sure.
You notice that?
That's why I'm wearing glasses.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Elton. Yeah. 1 out, 1 on. Line foul.
Ooh.
Boy, that almost got Hoffman. Three runs, 8 hits for the Padres. 3 runs, 4 for Arizona. Do you like the white boots of Delgado?
You know what? I like this uniform. Out of all of them, I would have to say these are my favorite, and I've always been a fan of white spikes. I always have been.
You look faster, I think. Up the middle, stabbed by Delgado, goes to short for one, back to first, throws it away, and Jankowski's going to try to make it to second. The throw by Goldschmidt, not in time. Goldschmidt played the carom, but he was off balance on his throw. So the Padres have a man in scoring position as Sardinhas is out. 1-6.
I'm going to check Owings at second base. Did he? Yeah. His foot was on the bag. And then Jankowski, once he commits, here it is. On the bad throw, once Jankowski crosses first base, he commits. He's got to go. Puts some pressure on Goldschmidt. Never really had a good handle on the baseball and slides in easily.
So out of the situation, the Padres come out better than one might have first thought. It's a fielder's choice and an error on the shortstop, Owings. And that gives Margot a chance to give the Padres the lead. He tied it up with a double to right field in the 4th inning. Third RBI, as you can see. "22 years young," Manny Margot. Ground ball to third, and Lamb able to pick it off and get him by a stride. So the Padres denied in the top of the 6th. It's still tied at 3. High fly ball to center, and that ball's hit. Upton going back. Home run.
No, he pulled it back. He took it right off the wall. The throw back to first. A double play. Oh, my.
Facing the Orioles, late June, Melvin Upton robs J.J. Hardy. Home run, then fires and doubles up Mark Trumbo. That's part 2 for Melvin Upton Jr., featured in our number 3 moment from the 2016 season. Brought to you by Geico. Number 2 tomorrow night. Now, there's no question I would have voted for that of all we've seen as the number 1 so far.
Yep. That was an incredible play. So much going on there.
Brilliant.
The athleticism of Melvin Upton Jr., the accuracy of the throw back to the.
Goldschmidt hits that one high to center field. Did he get all of it? Margot has room, or Jankowski has room. Oh, he just missed hitting a second.
Well, sometimes we mentioned it earlier. The power hitter will get jammed a little bit, but Goldschmidt, you know what? He's quick to that ball. Looked like he got it the good part of the bat, just underneath it a little bit too much to keep it in the ball yard.
Going back to that Upton play, and it's just in 5 seconds. You go, if you're the Orioles, from 2 runs for you to 2 outs for the other team.
Exactly.
That is a lightning strike play.
The throw back from Melvin to first base was the thing that was really exciting. I mean, going up and taking one back, but still the accuracy. I think it was maybe a 2-hop throw. The throw went from Melvin to Will Myers at first base.
It wasn't a relay. This is Drury. He takes ball 2, 2-0. Winds up. That's just perfect. He's doing really well with the Toronto Blue Jays moving up there. I think he's up over 25 homers, isn't he, on the year?
He's swinging the bat really well.
2 balls and a strike now to Drury, or rather Wellington Castillo, the catcher. He knocked in the first run with a bloop single to right, and he struck out the last time. Drury to follow. Swing and a miss. So the statistics on Upton for the year, he's hitting .238. That's combining Padres and Blue Jays. 20 homers. Solid season. Two balls, 2 strikes to Drury. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that'll bring us to our Cholula flamethrower. How about the speed tonight?
Well, Edwin Jackson's got good movement on the cut fastball and the slider. We just saw it there. But what's he pumping it up to tonight? 95, mid-90s, and that's hot sauce in the desert.
Well, that sounds like you were bored by it all. Just hot sauce in the desert. Come on, show some excitement.
Hot sauce!
There you go. Wake him up down there.
Yeah.
Come on. Do you know that down there, you fans in the lower boxes?
There's more where that came from.
Fly ball to right field. Margot tested on this one. Back to the wall. It's off the base of the wall. Margot's throw to second base. Got a chance. Comes in a little late. And that's a double for Drury. So with 2 outs, Arizona with a chance here to break the 3-3 tie.
As an outfielder, you know, there comes a point when you have to give up on a ball or you go for it to try to make the spectacular catch. And I think Manuel Margot does a nice job here. He plays it, the carom comes right to him, gets in a good throwing position. And that's a for sure double, but I think he played that one correctly.
Yeah. If you go up and you don't make the catch and it caroms away, now it's a triple or worse. That'll bring up Chris Owings, who is flying to center and grounded it into a sharp 6-3 double play. Hit a shot to short, and Sardinia's able to turn it into the DP. Breaking ball outside. 91 tosses now for the 33-year-old Jackson.
Yeah, the first and the third, heavy workload for the veteran right-hander. 20 in the first, 25 in the third.
Jackson wears his age on his uniform. Outside. First base open. And the rookie Socrates Rito is on deck. Brandon Morrow begins to throw in the San Diego pen. Shaking off Hedges. Uh-oh, that ball had a bad sound. Margot going back, and it is gone. Well, Jackson shook off his catcher, and he threw the pitch he wanted. And apparently it was the one Owings wanted as well. He has hit his 5th home run of the year, and the D-backs back in front. 5-3 on their 2nd home run of the night. An opposite field shot by Owings.
Well, when the count is in your favor 2-0, you know, usually a hitter will come out of his shoes, but I tell you what, that looks like a cut fastball that's up, and Owings takes it the other way with a very nice swing. Rather than coming out of his shoes trying to pull that ball, and in a ballpark where it travels, he got an elevated pitch, just didn't get it in a good location.
That brings up Brito on off speed for a strike. So the D-backs riding a pair of 2-run homers. Goldschmidt is 24th and Owings number 5, and have managed to move in front again 5-3. Brito struck out and sent that Soft fly ball behind shortstop that Sardinius made a nice going away catch heading out toward left field. He chases in the dirt. That'll end the inning, but damage done with 2 outs. Drury with a double. Owings goes the opposite field. Number 5 for the shortstop of the D-backs. And it's now 5-3 Diamondbacks. Padres baseball brought to you by Saquon Casino. Sign up for the Padres club card today. By Sony High-Res Audio. Finally, hear everything. And by Mercury Insurance. We're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today. Nice statue out there. Baseball player with a young family. Adulation of the young lad with the ball glove. Patrick Corbin comes in to pitch here for the D-backs, top of the 7th inning, a 5-3 lead. As you can see, he started 24 times. This is his 12th relief appearance. And his first pitch to Will Myers, a strike. Will is 1 for 3 tonight. High ERA for Corbin, 5-13 is 1 loss, 5.24 earned run average. Opposing hitters hitting .289. Home run balls hurt him, 24 long balls. Myers with a self-deprecating smile on that swing.
Well, Patrick Corbin, we know him as a starter, but he's thrown the ball quite well out of the bullpen for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Inherits a 2-run lead.
That ball hit well to left center field, but too high. And Drury there to make the catch. Had him out in front. Myers was pulled enough that couldn't really get his full turn into that pitch. Solarte looking for a base hit to extend his hitting streak at 14 coming into the game, but so far a strikeout and a couple of groundouts. Brandon Morrow, right-hander, getting ready. In there.
Dick, back in the 3rd inning, we never really had time to give an explanation. Remember, Solarte was up from the left side. He tried to bunt. Well, according to Jerry Meals, the home plate umpire, watch his foot. Look at his foot right there. According to home plate Jerry Meals, his foot is out of the box. Anytime a foot is completely out of the box, regardless, fair ball, foul ball, contact is made, the hitter is out. If you're keeping score, that's 2 unassisted in your scorecard.
Right. I got it. 2-U right there.
There you go.
The looked as if both feet were out of the box.
Yeah. So you got to have both feet in the box.
Padres need to rally. They're down 5-3 here in the 7th. Another ball in the dirt from Corbin. 1-2.
A little nugget about Jerry Meals growing up as a kid. His nickname growing up as a kid was On Wheels.
Meals on Wheels.
It's a great program.
It sure is. Another foul off the bat of Solarte. Well, the Dodger-Giants series begins up in AT&T, and it's been 2-2 for about a half an hour in the 2nd inning. I don't know, maybe they got fog or something up there. I mean, that's been a long time.
Yeah.
2-2. Yeah, that's just the scoreboard. They both scored 2 runs in the 1st inning, and it's now in the 5th inning. They just haven't updated the score. St. Louis won, the Mets won, so pressure on the Giants.
Ooh.
Should they lose, and the Cardinals move into a tie with San Francisco for that 2nd wild card. Not that the Mets have clinched it, but we're down to a precious 2 games. Alex Dickerson steps in, lashes that one foul. Two outs, bases empty for Dickerson. He's walked and doubled, scored a run. That's a strike. 0-2. 94 from Corbin. Outside.
So it's our understanding that the Mets have at least clinched a tie for the wild card.
And you'd say, well, then they're in. No, they're not. Could be a 3-way tie, and then they got to play that off. Yeah. And don't even get into that. In the dirt, 2-2.
Yeah, I'll be quite honest with you. You can have a briefcase full of $1 million and explain the 3-way tie, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I'll just forfeit the money.
The Rangers have secured home field advantage throughout the postseason as they win 3-1. High fly ball center field. Room out there, and Haniger makes the catch. Padres against Corbin go in order in the top of the 7th. So the highlight tonight, the home run ball, 3 homers, all with the man on. Goldschmidt and Owings for Arizona and Schimpf for the Padres. And Edwin Jackson's night is over. He goes 6 innings, 5 earned runs, 6 hits, 2 of them homers, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. And Padres hand the ball to Brandon Morrow.
Hold the deficit, only 2 runs here in Arizona. We know that can go by the wayside in a heartbeat, so he needs to throw up a 0, get back in that dugout.
Pitch is swung on, and Margot settles under it in right field. 1 away as Haniger flies out, and it appears that Corbin's going to hit for himself.
Pitcher, Patrick Corbin.
Well, Corbin on the season as a hitter does have 7 knocks. Make that he scored 7 runs, 15 hits in 48 at bats. He's hitting .313. No wonder. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, look at his stance. He looks like a hitter.
Takes ball 1. Boy, what an advantage that is in the National League to have a pitcher that really is a threat. You think of Bumgarner, of course, San Francisco. Fastball, 93. Talking with Brandon Morrow the other day, and really pleased with how he's come back from his surgery, shoulder surgery. And he's got his fastball is up there where it was before the injury.
Oh, yeah. He's touched 96, 97 at times.
94 there, yeah. So with the action tonight, we do know that Washington plays the Dodgers, and we know that Boston will play Cleveland, but the home field yet decided in both cases, although Washington has the advantage over the Dodgers. Fouled at the plate. Boston is 192. Cleveland's 191 coming into today's action. And Boston won today. Cleveland won tonight. So at this point, Boston would be the home field. And don't forget, Cleveland had a rainout yesterday, so they have a game to make up.
Hey, playoff spots are up for grabs on MLB's final Saturday of the regular season. First on Fox, Cardinals battle the Pirates, or the Mets take on the Phillies at 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Then on FS1, the Indians collide with the Royals at 1 p.m. Pacific, or watch both games live on Fox Sports Go.
So did the Indians and Royals play a doubleheader day-night maybe tomorrow, huh?
We can look into that.
After the rainout. Let's look at tomorrow's schedule. Cleveland at Kansas City doesn't indicate there's going to be 2. Oh, if it's needed, they'll play on Monday. Play that game.
Gotcha.
Oh man, this is going to be something,
isn't it?
This weekend. Meanwhile, Gene Segura has a walk and a ground-out line-out. 2-way, bases empty here in the bottom of the 7th inning in Arizona. The Diamondbacks leading the Padres 5-3. Late swing foul. And tonight's game presented by Sony, the leader of 4K Ultra HD. And it's appropriate, as we talked about Sony, that this is an important day in baseball television. September 30th, 1939. And wait after this pitch, 2-1. Segura takes 3-1. The first college football game was televised on this date in 1939.
Who was it?
Fordham.
Vin Scully's
alma mater,
yeah.
beat mighty Waynesburg State 34-7. That was the first college football telecast. Good piece of trivia there. Huh? Foul back, big rip by Segura. Fordham back in the day, between the First World War and the Second World War, they were a football powerhouse.
Pitcher Pete Harnish went to Fordham. Pitched for the Reds, the Mets, the Astros. Had a nice little career. Now a coach in the Seattle Mariners organization.
Full count to Segura. Chops it to first base.
Myers waves off the pitcher, and it's an impressive 1-2-3 inning for Brandon Morrow. We go to the 8th. Padres need 2 to tie. All right, Mike. Well, meaty stuff on the postgame show tonight, and also over in the American League. By the way, that rain out of Cleveland was in Detroit, so they'll play that game on Monday, Cleveland at Detroit, if Cleveland needs that for home field, or if Detroit needs it for the wild card.
Right.
So this season may go to 163 games. Corbin working on Schimpf, then Hedges and Sardinus in the Padre 8th. 5-3 for the D-backs in the dirt. 1-2. Time now for the Bill Howe plays of the game. Well, this one is a big play. A 456-foot home run for Ryan Schimpf. A 2-run shot. His 20th of the season. He now has 51 RBIs. And he looks at that one, strike 3. So Corbin's second strikeout. He's retired all 4 men that he's faced. Here's Austin Hedges.
Catcher, Austin Hedges.
Hedges hit by a pitch. Hard ground out to short, and another ground ball to short. This one hit to right field pretty well. Back goes the right fielder to the edge of the track, and Brito tucks it away for the second out.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
So with 2 out, bases empty, and Luis Sardinus, only hitter in the game with more than 1 hit. Grounded to first his first time, dumped a single into left center his second at bat, and grounded one through the right side in the 6th inning. Ball 1. Hitting right-handed for the first time today. And if he can get on, that'll bring up Hunter Renfroe, who's in the on-deck circle. Would hit for Morrow. But it's a chopper to short, and Owings takes care of business. And Corbin 6 up, 6 down out of the bullpen.
presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Petco, where the healthy pets go, and by your San Diego County Lexus dealers. Chase Field, downtown Phoenix, capacity of nearly 49,000, and the crowd tonight 42,651, including some Padre fans. Check on the team in Peoria and here to see the final series of the season. Keith Hessler makes his 17th appearance of the year.
Keith has been really throwing the rock really well. He's not allowed a run in his last 15 and a third innings pitched. Did well down in El Paso. And here are the mixed numbers as a Diamondback and a Padre.
Padres picking him up on waivers from the Diamondbacks. Get a left-hander with a good arm.
Yeah.
He has a chance to hang around.
Would it be nice to have 3 quality left-handers out of the bullpen? Remember all those years Bruce Bochy had 2 or 3 good quality lefties.
Jake Lamb, then Goldschmidt and Castillo here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He gets good downward playing, Keith Hessler. High 3/4 arm slot. Stays tall through his delivery and gets that downward angle towards the hitter.
That's in there. 1 and 2. Kevin Quackenbush in case. Maybe Hessler in there just to pitch to the left-handed batting Lamb, and then Quackenbush for Goldschmidt and Castillo. That ball hit well to right field. Margot gives ground and makes the catch on the warning pad. Well, a look at the pitching matchup for tomorrow night, brought to you by Volkswagen Kearney Mesa. For the Padres, veteran Clayton Richards. He's pitched well, 3-3 and a 2.98 ERA. Archie Bradley take the mound for the D-backs. He's 7-9. So that's exactly what Andy Green had in mind. Hessler in to pitch to the left-hander. Here comes Quack for the right-handed batters.
Thing is there are the relationships and the teammates, so that's the thing that sticks with you the most.
Rambo, what do you think of the Padres? What year did the Rockies franchise start?
68.
Close.
1993.
Very good.
Is the head in the ground?
No, it's about 15 yards out.
That was a sneak preview of tonight's Padres POV Best of the Season, presented by Shaquan Casino. Tonight, after Padres Live, right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
Hunter Renfroe, top of the 9th inning. Renfroe, who's had a sensational first week now. Oh, he's going to be up there in the 9th inning. Goldschmidt, the batter. Thinking ahead about Renfroe and how now Andy Green will use him. Maybe not until there's a man on base. Goldschmidt a home run and nearly another along out to center field as last time, and he fouled out to right. 1 out, bases empty. Quackenbush, unusual for a relief pitcher to have so many decisions. He's 7-7.
It comes in when it's close, when it's tied. You hold them, you get a win. Close game. You give up the lead, you take the L.
Hot shot to third. Solarte backs off and fires for the out. 2 away. And that'll bring up Castillo. Singled in the first run of the game back in the first inning. Well, it's time now. Check on the keys to the game. Brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Sink Shipley was the first one. Braden Shipley, 5 innings, 7 hits. He gave up 3 earned runs.
That's okay.
And correct road woes. Well, for Edwin Jackson, his ERA around 9. 6 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. He gave up 2 home runs. What do you think, Professor?
Jump ball.
C minus?
No, that's a C. No minus. That's a C.
All right.
You split. 1 run.
Right.
You're always working in the negative pool because you can only go on the Padres side.
Right. Okay.
It's like going to Las Vegas and you only can bet on one team. You're going to be lucky if you're 50-50.
Yeah. I got to get my act together.
Where are you going to take it on the road?
I got 2 more games to come with some keys.
Popped up ball first, and Myers has a play. And a quick inning. The D-backs are gone. Last call for the Padres. 5-3 the score. Charles Jr. star of the game, Chris Owings, breaking a 3-3 tie with a blast to the opposite field. And that gave Arizona the 5-3 advantage they now enjoy. Our Charles Jr. star of the game to Chris Owings in his 5th home run of the year. So top of the 9th, the Padres are going to use a couple of pinch hitters to get things going. They've got both John Jay and Hunter Renfroe in the on-deck circle as Patrick Corbin takes over for the 3rd inning. So this is now a save situation for Corbin. Would be his 2nd of the entire season, going 3 innings in relief. Jay to bat for Quackenbush. Padres hoping he can get on and give the power of Renfroe a chance to tie it up. .290 average, tied with Solarte. Club lead. 1-1. Left fielder Drury way over by the line. Big hole left center. In the dirt and levels the count. Renfroe will hit for Jankowski apparently.
Although if Jay doesn't get on, that could change. Well, Jay hits left-handers well. Jankowski does not.
Yeah, John Jay about a 303, 304 clip against left-handed pitching. That's impressive.
Hangs in there on
Yes,
that
he
breaking
does.
ball.
Uses the opposite field.
Off the plate barely, and a full count. Corbin's 2 innings, 6 up, 6 down with a couple of strikeouts. And he strikes out Jay. 94 on the heater. His 3rd strikeout. And Renfroe will hit nevertheless.
I'll correct myself. Before that at bat, John Jay hitting 314 off of lefties, and the lefty Corbin just pounds that fastball in on him for the strikeout. I shortchanged John about 10 points. I apologize.
Renfroe made some big noise in his first week in the big leagues. 4 home runs and that mammoth shot to the top of Western Metal Supply Company building. And it's fun to watch him throw from right field as well.
Sure is.
4 home runs and a dozen RBIs already. Deep but foul down the right field line.
Stick around for Padres Live, the post-game show. Mike Pomerantz and Mark Sweeney going to talk about this one. They're going to talk about all the wild card possibilities, American League and National League races. It's getting exciting this final weekend.
Low 2-1. Give you a perspective. Now Travis Jankowski's not played every game, but he's been here all season long. He has 12 RBIs. Renfroe's been here a little over a week. He's got 12.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
With the roof open, ball carrying, you'd like to see him tag one like he did the other night at Petco. Check swing, and it's a strike.
Let's see what Corbin goes after right here. A slider.
And he grounds it sharply toward the hole and through for a base hit. That shows you how strong he is. He had already committed. His weight was forward. All he had left, and there's a bobble out in left field. And into second goes Renfroe, as Drury had trouble coming up with the ball cleanly. So a single in the 3rd error of the night for Arizona. What did he do? Lose his footing here? We were watching Renfroe.
Oh, he got tripped up. He went for the ball, missed it, and then tried to stop and got tripped up.
The grass tripped him up. Huh? One of those blades just reached. It's like that commercial, you know, where the tire becomes a snake.
That's
you know?
right. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of like grass will reach up and get you, you know. Kind of embarrassing for Drury. So 3 errors. The Padres see if they can take advantage.
Look out.
Now he just stays there and says, "Help me, Haniger." Now the tying run will come to the plate here. Renfroe at second. And Manny Margot, an RBI double in the game. Padres about here. Arizona 9-6. The trail 5-3. Ball 1. After Margot, Will Myers. Brandon Maurer in case. Two and 0. Well, the Padres haven't had a really good 9th inning rally since that win up at AT&T when Shim hit the home run.
Yep.
Remember? 2 balls, no strikes to Margot. High, 3-0.
Over the course of the season, Professor, the Padres have outscored their opponents in the 9th inning 70-47.
Wow, I didn't realize that. That's a tremendous advantage. Well, that's tells you 2 things. Good bullpen Padres, and the hitters taking advantage in the late innings for San Diego. Look at Chip Hale. 3-0, and that one's called a strike. Just in at the knees. 3-1. Nothing wrong with taking another if it is borderline. He flares that foul. Richard and Bradley tomorrow, 4:30 here on Fox Sports San Diego for Padres Live, the pregame show. Full count now to Margot. And he rips one toward deep short. Great pick by Owings. Goes to third, and Renfroe is out. Oh, there's a rookie mistake. Trying to advance to third. The ball was hit hard, and it's in front of the runner. That's just automatic. Ball in front of you. You can't go.
And you know what, Dick? I don't think Owings could have thrown this ball more perfectly. Look at where this ball is thrown. Right down in front of the bag. Jake Lamb doesn't even have to move his glove. But you're right. That's a ball. And we might have a challenge here. There's the throw. Does he catch him? Oh, ooh, you know what? After second look, does he get him on the front side?
Renfroe comes to the dugout, and it has been challenged.
Ladies and gentlemen, these plays are official video replay.
When you think about the situation, I don't know if Owings from that deep position was going to throw out Margot, but had a chance, right? So assuming that he makes the major league play, the Padres are no worse here. They're going to need, somebody to knock it out. They're going to need 2 runs here to tie.
Correct.
But it would be nice if he's safe. Does he whip?
The knee. Looks like he got the back knee.
Got it. Yeah, he's out. After he missed the front leg, I can see why they might have thought it's worth a review, and he is indeed out. 6-5 on the putout. It's just another piece of information into the learning process for the rookie Renfroe. So with that, a pitching change. Padres have a man on, 2 outs, top of the 9th, and they need 2 to tie. To 3 here in the top of the 9th inning, and Daniel Hudson, he not 1 but 2 Tommy John surgeries,
comes in for the possible save with Will Myers, the hitter for San Diego.
Well, career high in appearances now for Daniel Hudson. This is his 68th game. He had 64 back in 2015. A 1.86 ERA over his last 22 games, and there you see the numbers on the season. The strikeouts are there. High ERAs, probably some big hits. Need a big hit here.
Myers looping single to right field his first time. He's lined out and flied out twice. Too shy of 30 home runs on the year, Will. Runner goes. Defensive indifference, and Margot moves to second. Way outside, 2-0. Myers reaches. Solarte would be next. Give Jan another chance to extend his hitting streak. He's 0 for 4. $42,651 here on a Friday night in Arizona. Out of the strike zone, and Myers goes after that high fastball. 2-1. Hudson has 4 saves this year. It's been saved by committee for Arizona. That ties Barrett for the lead. Wow, pounds it at 97. High pop-up. Goldschmidt from first base. This one goes to the D-backs. The final, Arizona 5, San Diego 3. Here's Mike Pomerantz.